Hello YouTube, Sam here from youtube.com/onlivegamer for the new Boston, and in this tutorial we're going to be taking a look at exiting subs early. Now if you're familiar with this in another language, what you can do is you can just go ahead and type return, which will exit the method or function that you are using. Now it's a little bit different in Visual Basic, so let's go ahead and get started and make a demo application for this. And you're going to be learning a little bit more than just exiting the sub. We're going to be working a bit with a list box in this. So go ahead and select New Project, select Windows Forms Application, and then go ahead and name it Exit Sub, and we'll click OK. So now we'll open up our toolbox, and we will add a button here, and we will set the text to Exit Sub Demo, and we'll make it a little bit bigger, and let's just stretch it all the way across here. Now we'll come down here and we will add a list box. We'll stretch it out a bit to fill up the whole screen, and we're going to go ahead and set the name value to list numbers, and we will set the button name to button exit sub. So let's go ahead and double click on the exit sub button. We'll close out of our toolbox and zoom in here. Now let's go ahead and create a sub down here. So private sub count, and we will just pass a variable to it. So by val num as integer. And now what we're going to do is we are going to increment num. So we'll go ahead and add a while loop. So we'll go ahead and do while true, then we'll go ahead and end the while. Now what this is going to do is it's going to run this while loop forever, because we typed while true, and it's always going to be true. It can't possibly be false. So we'll go ahead and type num plus plus. Now if we go ahead and come up here, we'll create a variable. So dim number as integer, and we'll go ahead and set that equal to 10. And sorry, getting my languages confused there. We'll do num plus equals 1. And every time we add one to num, we're going to go ahead and access our list box. So we'll type list numbers, and then we'll add a dot, and we'll type items and add. So list numbers.items.add, and we will just add num to that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add an if statement. So if num is greater than, let's say, 54, get rid of this parentheses right here. So if num is greater than 54, then go ahead and exit sub. So now what we're going to do is we are going to call the count sub. So we'll just count, and then we'll pass number to it. So what this is going to do is whenever we click the exit sub demo button right here, it's going to create a variable called number, and it's going to set that equal to 10. Then it's going to call our count sub. Now what this does is it runs an infinite while loop, and now it is okay for us to use an infinite loop right here, because we have a way for it to exit the loop if a value is, or if something is true. So if num is greater than 54, and if that's true, then go ahead and exit the sub, which will exit our while loop. So now what we'll do is, since I just explained what we did in count, we called count and passed number to it, because we have to have an integer value to pass to count. Now if we go ahead and run this, we can go ahead and click exit sub demo, and you can see here that we get starting at 11, and it goes all the way up to 55. Now the reason it goes up to 55 is because down here in our count sub, it will add 1 to it before and then check if it's greater than 54. So it is equal to 54 when we hit this, and then it comes back up here and it's equal to 55, and then it's going to exit our sub. So you can see it has all of these values right here. Now you can also use this with a function. So go ahead and you can create a couple subs or functions, and you don't have to use a loop in them. You can do whatever you want. Practice exiting the subs based on a certain condition, and once you got that down and you're not going to forget it, go ahead and move on to the next tutorial, and thanks for watching.